Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are decoding a dense, urgent, and frankly fascinating article about the dangerous intersection of artificial intelligence and global cyber threats. Look, we are dealing with a landscape that is shifting right beneath our feet. The digital world has completely transformed from a relatively limited space into this incredibly complex ecosystem where threats are mutating faster than ever before. You can really think of AI and cyber capabilities as a new double helix. They're totally intertwined, and they're driving the evolution of security threats on a massive global scale.
We're pulling directly from our source pages today because, honestly, the combination of these two forces is being warned of as a potential new apocalypse. As we analyze this text, we aren't just looking at standard technological upgrades. We are examining a fundamental rewrite of the rules of global power, modern warfare, and human safety itself.
All right, let's look at our roadmap. We're going to cover 1. The AI cyber double helix, 2. Enter agentic AI, 3. A global power shift, 4. Flaws in the machine, and finally, charting the way forward. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The AI cyber double helix, mutating the cyber world. We're starting right at the foundation here, outlining the core problem of how AI is fundamentally reshaping the cyber landscape.
Okay, look at this. For years, we relied heavily on zero-trust security protocols, right? Well, malicious autonomous agents are now able to adapt, evolve, and just completely bypass those legacy defenses. It's wild. The source actually notes that AI-powered malware literally changes in response to its environment. Traditional antivirus software? Yeah, it's incredibly hard-pressed to even detect it now. These autonomous agents are perfectly positioned to undermine our legacy systems and really aggravate insider threats. The old shields simply aren't working against this new, highly adaptive sword.
And this isn't just theory anymore, guys. AI is already providing massive asymmetric military advantages in active global conflicts. The text specifically points to the war in Ukraine and the US, Israel, and Iran conflicts as real-world proving grounds. We're talking about autonomous munitions, systems with names like Goalkeeper and Whiplash that can independently track targets, predict missile trajectories, and strike with terrifying accuracy. It is literally reshaping conventional military calculus right before our eyes.
Which brings us to Section 2. Enter agentic AI, a terrifying evolution. We are moving way past the AI that just writes your emails.
So, what's the big difference here? We have to distinguish between standard generative AI, like your typical large language models, and agentic AI. Agentic AI doesn't just generate text, it acts. It autonomously performs complex, multi-step tasks that were once strictly reserved for a human operator. And as this agentic AI starts displacing basic generative AI, the threat levels are going to skyrocket, simply because the system is operating with its own agency.
Now, the main catalyst driving these new security alarms is Mythos. It's an AI developed by the US firm Anthropic. According to the experts cited in our source, Mythos is testing the absolute limits of our legacy systems. It has this uncanny ability to hunt down and exploit zero-day vulnerabilities, those massive, previously unknown security flaws, across major operating systems and complex cryptographic software. It's been described as this all-encompassing power residing in a single instrument, basically playing by no existing rules.
Moving on to Section 3, a global power shift, geopolitical AI rivalry. Let's see how this creates a massive shift in economic and hard power.
The source details a fiercely competitive geopolitical landscape. And, just keeping things completely impartial here, we need to note that the US has accused China's Moonshot AI of stealing from Anthropic's Fable model, which is a charge that China firmly rejects. As an explainer, we're not taking sides, but we absolutely have to recognize what this means. The stakes are incredibly high. Nations and massive companies are clashing because whoever controls this tech basically holds the keys to the future. It's a gold rush in a totally unregulated frontier.
And it gets scarier when you look at these agentic autonomous operations. Because this tech democratizes power, smaller rogue groups could very soon wield the exact same destructive cyber capabilities that used to belong exclusively to entire nation-states. The source is crystal clear on this. AI machines are giving rogue actors a massive upgrade. We are definitely hitting a dangerous inflection point here.
That leads us right into Section 4, Flaws in the Machine, dangerously unreliable. Because despite possessing what the article actually calls godlike properties, this tech is dangerously flawed.
These are the severe, inherent flaws in the machine. We're talking frequent hallucinations, where the AI produces completely fabricated realities. In high-stakes defense, that is a nightmare.
The judgments can be highly subjective, and the source warns of algorithmic radicalization, pushing people toward extreme views. But maybe most crucially for defense, these algorithms often have a built-in bias against national security, making them incredibly unreliable for critical strategic warnings. It's a huge gamble.
So knowing all these massive vulnerabilities are sitting right alongside these godlike autonomous capabilities, the text forces us to ask a really unsettling question. Is Mythos the harbinger of a new apocalypse? If these models are outsmarting top human hackers but still hallucinating and showing heavy bias, are we just blindly marching toward a doomsday scenario? It's a sobering thought, and it absolutely demands critical analysis, not just blind hype.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Charting the Way Forward. Pragmatic solutions. To avoid that whole doomsday outcome, the article lays out a pragmatic way forward. The path forward demands stringent oversight. Step 1, we need deep, serious introspection from global leaders. Step 2, strict, absolute human oversight and control over defense systems. We have to keep the machines in check. And step 3 is absolutely vital. We have to prevent AI-dictated warnings from outrunning reality and triggering catastrophic real-world reactions before humans can step in and assess what's actually happening on the ground.
The article wraps up with this incredibly powerful maxim. Better to cross the river by feeling the stones than blind prejudice or unadulterated endorsement of a new technology. Basically, we need to take deliberate, careful steps, testing the ground as we go. That is vastly superior to just blindly cheering on everything AI does. What we're seeing right now in global conflicts, that is just the tip of the iceberg, and we need some serious strategic realism to survive what's coming.
So as you walk away from this explainer today, I want you to think about this. As AI completely mutates our digital world, will we master the double helix, or will it ultimately master us? The rules for AI are still barely written, but the bugle call has already sounded. We've seen the power of agentic AI, the global rivalries, and the terrifying flaws. Will we design the oversight needed to control it, or will we let it dictate our future? Thank you so much for joining me today to decode this. Stay curious, and as always, keep asking the hard questions.